Approximately 22 million personal records of federal employees may have been compromised in a cyber attack involving the Office of Personnel Management. Now, Virginia, of course, is home to thousands of current, former, and retired federal workers.
Our next guest, Kevin Crane, is a retired special agent with the Office of Personnel Management and author of Access Granted, which looks at personal information you give when you're getting a background check and how to protect that information once you've handed it over. It sounds like you left a little bit too soon. You should have been there protecting us.
Well, I'm going to try to do my best now.
Okay,
yes.
Good. This is obviously something that is on a lot of people's minds. We all remember the days where we just handed over our Social Security number to anybody that asked. We hand our credit cards to somebody that walk around the corner out of sight and do a transaction and bring it back to us. Are we way too trusting?
If you're doing that, you're absolutely way too trusting. Yeah. I would say do not do that and be more vigilant today.
This is one of those issues that has been in the news a lot lately. Our state attorney general issued a warning to people to pay close attention to their financial accounts. The Office of Personnel Management Director resigned her position on Friday. As Bill mentioned, we turn this information over all the time. How can we be more vigilant, especially if we're doing a background check? I looked at the background check on your website, 127 pages to get national security clearance. That's a lot of personal information. Can we refuse to give that information over in any case?
Well, you can't refuse to do it. Of course, the government can also refuse to give you the security clearance or the job, but I can give you some tips that might actually help your viewers. One, what I would do is be proactive. Don't do anything that might be embarrassing to you or come back to haunt you later, and by all means, don't put it on social media because it'll absolutely be found forever. Change your passwords on your computer at least monthly, especially if you're doing any online banking. I would absolutely change those passwords at least monthly. Other than that, use a good software protection system. It could be a Norton, could be a McAfee type antivirus, and they update that all the time. The other thing I would do is if you get an email and or an attachment that you're not familiar with, don't open it. You're just inviting the bad guys into your computer. And if you have a Social Security number, get something that will protect your finances, such as a LifeLock. I use that for my whole family. I have for years. Even my 2-year-old twins have it, and my 6-month-old son. It's a junior program, but they have Social Security numbers, and I'm not going to allow someone to hack in and get those and open up accounts.
Step one was don't get in trouble. I have 19-year-old twin sons, so that's to y'all. But those of us who've already passed that awkward 20-something where we do things we might regret later, obviously it's too late to turn back the clock on that. Do we have to disclose all of that stuff?
When the government, or really any job, should ask you to fill out not just an employment application or a security type application or background check, absolutely always be honest. Number one, sometimes the dishonesty aspect of it, the falsification, if you will, is oftentimes worse than the actual deed that you did. But nowadays, the government uses what's called mitigating circumstances. They look at the whole person concept, and they'll say, for instance, if you were stopped for a DUI as a teenager, how far back was it? Is that something that's continuing to happen today? Are you also likely to continue this type of action in the future? If none of that comes into play, the mitigating circumstances would be in your favor and you'd be granted a security clearance.
Cover-up's always worse.
It is always worse. And
worse.
It's amazing when you think about how many jobs that you apply for that would require a background check. Anything from teachers to banking to you and your wife own a daycare center, so I know that you have to do background checks.
Oh yes, it seems in today's day and age, you can never be too careful. You hear too many stories about bad things happening, whether it's for things such as breaking into one's finances or happening to children. You absolutely have to do a background check, whether it's even just doing something with the state police or FBI fingerprints. We have to do that for all of our teachers, as well as even a child abuse check. So it's an important thing for an employer.
We're almost out of time. You've got TIPS down, TIPS. What does that stand for?
Total Information information provides security. If you get my book on Amazon.com or from my website, federalsecurityclearance.net, I have a ton of things in there that'll help you, not just for a security clearance, but if you're going for any job that might require some type of a background investigation. It's a load of information, and you can spend months researching it, or you can just read it right at your fingertips.
And you make it very easy to understand. Kevin Crane, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, sir.